Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for something a little bit experimental that's been kind of rattling around in the back of my brain for a while now, and I just haven't had the opportunity to try to implement it. But I figured that since we recently finished off Ginga Eiyu Densetsu, and if you're on YouTube, I'll be doing what I can to get all of the ones that I'd never put up on YouTube because I'm an idiot up on YouTube and yeah, blah 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 blah. But we recently finished Ginga Eiyu Densetsu just last week. We watched the last couple of episodes, and I've been thinking as we've been approaching the end of Legend of the Galactic Heroes that I would very much like a period of time where I can watch random old things. And this is going to be real loose and real vague and real broad, but what I'm trying to do is a bit of a blast from the past sort of situation. I want the experience of going into a video store in the 80s or 90s, picking out a random VHS with something cool on the cover, taking it home and watching it with dinner or a friend or whatever, and either, enjoying the fuck out of it and becoming a new fan and maybe seeking out whether there's more of this content out there, or laughing at how ridiculous and maybe terrible it actually is. The whole goal here is to pick and choose whatever seems interesting to me at that particular Monday, and this will be a Monday slot moving forward, to pick out an older OVA. And by OVA, I don't mean things exactly like Ginga Eiyu Densetsu that are a full, massive, commitment run thing that are huge. I'm talking things that you would pick up and maybe there would be one or two VHS tapes that would cover the entirety of the series. Stuff like Megazone 23, or I actually have a list here. Things like Battle Angel Alita, or Giant Robo, or well, the thing that we're going to watch today, which if you were watching Chihayafuru and like came from there to here to hopefully see Megazone 23, I apologize. I didn't realize that each episode of Megazone 23 was a full-length fucking feature film, and it's already almost 7 p.m., so I decided to go with something a little bit shorter and a little bit better known to start. So we'll probably get to Megazone 23 at some point, just on a day where I didn't watch 4 episodes of Chihayafuru because I got stuck and addicted to the cliffhangers and whatever. This isn't going to matter at all moving forward, or if people watch this in the future, but still, it's what's on my mind. It's pretty late, and I want to do something a little bit shorter and a little bit more digestible. So, not going to do Megazone 23 or 2-3. I think it's 2-3 today, but maybe in a couple of weeks when we finish up with this thing. So, the whole goal here, as I said, is to get that semi-authentic video store experience, and that means watching older 80s and 90s OVAs. As far as I'm aware, there is an absolute treasure trove of pretty well regarded by those who've seen it and pretty underseen by most anime viewers shows from the 80s and 90s. And with Ginga Eiyu Densetsu, I understand that there's a really massive barrier to entry, like, especially for a reaction series. Like, you're not just gonna pick up Ginga Eiyu Densetsu on a whim and go, "Oh, that looks fun, let's watch it." I mean, hey, maybe you are, and if so, goddamn good on you, because it's fucking worth it, and it is really good. But I was thinking stuff that's shorter, stuff that's maybe shorter than what we would consider an average season of a seasonal anime. Things that would have been found in your average video store, your Blockbuster, or is there another name? Your neighborhood type of video store, when such things exist, that have since been lost to time or immortalized in digital bits and bytes that we can go to a place like Nya and grab for ourselves. After all, the internet is pretty much at this point the biggest fucking video store and compilation of historical documents that any of us could possibly ever ask for. And I figure that it's a damn shame that so few of us so infrequently trawl that resource and instead turn our attention to the endless waves of good and bad that come out every season. Not that I have anything against your seasonal shows or anything like that, but it is a bit of a shame that, there are 8 or 12 isekai that come out every year, and each of them gets tens and tens of thousands of viewers, if not hundreds and hundreds or millions of viewers, hundreds and hundreds of thousands or millions of viewers, when historical classics, things that are the foundations of anime as we know it, things that existed during the great OVA boom of the 80s and 90s, get sort of swept off to the wayside and put on the interminable, endless plan to watch lists that, I myself am guilty of having. Um, so I wanna do some work here. I wanna do some justice to some things that have come before, and for my own curiosity, go and satisfy myself with some of the older things that have come before. If you've been hanging around the channel for a while, you know that I'm often fascinated by some of the older and more experimental shows that have come out. Things like, I mean, it's not super old, but things like Lane, things like Ava, things like Utena. These are shows that I see as foundational and really interesting, and things that people in the anime industry are by and large more familiar with than we as the general anime watching public might be. And I think that maybe we could serve ourselves a little bit by going back in time, just a bit. So, without further ado, well, with some plenty of further ado, actually, whoops, we're going to go ahead and embark on a series of little interesting journeys through interesting minds and mindsets, artists and character designers and creators, animators, directors, script writers, people who saw anime as an experimental medium in these kind of interesting decades for the medium, when it really took off from Saturday morning cartoon feel into much, much more, and became kind of the prototypical medium for expressing things that are more difficult to do in film or more difficult to do in any other format. So that's what Mondays are going to be going forward. I'm also going to be moving Chihayafuru around a little bit because it's currently sitting on Sunday, and Sunday's a packed day for me with Vinland Saga currently airing, which is wonderful, and that kind of goes against what I was saying about seasonals, but it's one of the good, I think, at least to an extent, and people might disagree with that, but whatever. Along with Hyouka, which is something else that I'm really enjoying, and I want to give enough room to breathe on Sundays. I was just finding that Chihayafuru was being pushed way, way back in the day on Sundays, and I didn't quite like that. So the way I see it at this point is I'm going to move Chihayafuru mostly permanently, unless I find myself having lots of time on Sunday, mostly permanently to a Monday slot, and then once I'm done editing and rendering Chihayafuru, and as it is right now, it is currently uploading, I'll go ahead and turn on the recording software and turn my attention to something weird and older and maybe really interesting. So, as I said, I've been kind of rattling around this idea for a while, and my initial thought was Megazone 23, which is something that crossed my path in, I think it was an article written by somebody on AniList, who was just talking about, oh, this fucking OVA is so cool looking and so awesome, and sounded really good, and I just read the first few lines of it and was like, oh, I'll put that on the list. That sounds great. That sounds like a great place to start. But then I downloaded it and looked at the file and was like, oh geez, an hour and 20 minutes. That's a long recording, fam. I don't know if I want to do that right now, immediately. So instead, we're going to do something a little bit shorter, but I would say, to most people's mind, probably no less interesting, and that would be Gunbuster. So, today, for the inaugural Name Here, we're going to be watching Gunbuster. Note on the Name Here thing, I don't really know what to call this slot at the moment. Like, Retro OVA Monday is what it is and what it's intended to be, but it just doesn't have a ring to it. So if you can come up with something interesting like the VHS slot, or like, I don't have a good idea. That's why I'm turning this over to you. I'm hoping to crowdsource a good name for this kind of content. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's something that I think there are at least a few people out there who would enjoy seeing me do. I threw the idea around on my Discord a little bit, and a bunch of people chimed in like, yeah, that sounds fucking good. Watch this thing. Because there are a few people, most of them coming in from Ginga Eiyu Densetsu or some of the other older shows that I've done, who have their own older favorites that they've been like man, some people need to watch this. It would be great if Teeaboo would watch this, and I'm amenable. I'm down. I'm down to clown. Oh, geez, that instant cringe. Oh, geez. Um, so think of an idea for a name if you want to. Drop it in the comments or PM it to me on Discord or whatever if you're in the Discord and are a patron or whatever. I will do these shows as early access and then release on YouTube. So every week there will be either a new reaction to the same show if it's got a few episodes to it as Gunbuster does, or a new reaction to something totally new. And I'll also sort of throw movies into this same slot, whether they be older, which is the primary focus, or more modern. There are a couple of more modern anime films that I've got my eye on and probably should see just because they've been cultural phenomena, and stuff like Koi no Katachi. Yeah, I should probably watch that at some point. Along the same lines of that list would be Liz and the Bluebird, but that was related to Hibike, so they sort of just folded into one another, and I did Liz after Hibike. But anime films will also fall into this sort of slot, but I want the focus to be mostly on the retro. There could be some shakeups in that, and there's no hardline boundary for what retro means. I mean, early 2000s are still chock full of interesting shows that didn't get much limelight and are made by interesting people who have gone on to do fantastic and interesting things in the industry. So it's real loosey-goosey with the rules of what this consists of. I will just say that pretty much anything that's more than 11 or 12 episodes is going to be something that'll have to be pulled for on like an actual show slot. This is meant to be a fast-moving slot that covers ground more quickly and jumps from thing to thing. And likewise, something where if I watch the first episode of like a 3-part, hour and 20-minute long OVA like Megazone and I hate it, which I probably won't, but assume that I do, that I would just be able to say, all right, this is cool. We checked out the first VHS of this. I'm not going to rent it with my next weekly Blockbuster rental thing, right? If it's really cool, then maybe I'll go and trade in the tape and grab another one. The whole idea is to have a neighborhood Blockbuster, but to use the massive amounts of content that's available via torrents to achieve the same sort of situation. So. First thing that we're watching is going to be Gunbuster. For those who don't know, and most of you probably know, I don't know much about Gunbuster. As usual, I try to avoid spoilers and just too much information about shows. The one thing that pretty much everybody and their mom knows about Gunbuster is that it is we're back to Ava time, was the one I couldn't say this. Hideaki Anno's directorial debut, in which he hit a bunch of interesting beats that I've heard are relatively related to the same kinds of beats that he hit, with a bit more nuance and a bit more metaphysics in Ava itself, as well as a work in which he collided with and collaborated with a number of individuals who he would go on to work with throughout his career. I'm really interested in this show for those reasons and because it's fucking interesting sounding. So we're gonna watch it, and we're gonna watch, I don't know, 1 or 2 episodes today, and we'll continue on that path in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll find something else to watch. Whether that comes from recommendations, or if I decide to do some kind of polling feature for this, I don't know. But I'm thinking about it as just like, every Monday or every week leading up to Monday, I'm going to go around and maybe browse some anime lists, browse some recommendation threads, whatever, find something that sounds interesting, like I want to check it out, and maybe watch it. And this is going to cover a wide variety of genres and weird shit and blah, 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 blah. A couple other things that I just want to note here as we begin this slot. 80s OVAs are known, 80s, 90s OVAs are known for a couple of things. One, they're known for immense creativity, often featuring cyberpunk landscapes and neo-noir cities, things that I fucking love. But they're also known for being extremely commercialized products, and that mostly means lots of violence and plenty of sex appeal. So, there may be cases where I might not be able to put up the thing on YouTube. In fact, it's probably likely that I won't be able to put up any of these on YouTube as such. So, in the interest of safety of my channel and otherwise, because I have gotten copyright strikes for older OVA material. For example, the Read or Die OVAs that I did as a late night with Teeaboo, you will no longer find on my channel because they got motherfucking copyright struck, and it sucked. Sucked bad. But I'm not going to be putting up the actual video content on YouTube. Instead, there will be links in the description on probably BitChute and Mega. I'm also going to be experimenting over the next couple of weeks with a resource or a platform called Pixel Drain, which operates on SIA, a cryptocurrency or blockchain, and positions itself as a free file sharing site thing, platform, place, whatever. It's kind of in its infancy, but it's kind of really fucking appealing for this kind of purpose, as it doesn't have the same kind of bandwidth restrictions or caps that Mega does. Its only flaw from, like, what I'm trying to do with it is permanency, and the thing with that is, if a file on Pixel Drain hasn't been accessed by a user in the last 60 days, it gets removed from their servers, and that's part of how they just keep garbage collecting things and try as they might to reduce the bloat that is inevitable with this kind of a file sharing service. But check in the description. There should be at least 2 links to BitChute and Mega with picture-in-picture versions of this video, which will have a video up here in the corner, and then there will be the timer-based version up on YouTube. And as usual, just for like my sanity and the ability to use my computer when it's rendering stuff, or after it's rendering stuff, I will be rendering out 2 versions of these videos. One of them will be the timer-based version, which will have any discussion at the beginning of whatever episodes I watch and any discussion at the end of whatever episodes I watch. Usually, if you're new here, I like to go through the episode, talk about things that happened in it, talk about, and maybe frame by frame, certain pieces of animation or interesting art or style or design or whatever. Not that I would claim to be super knowledgeable about these things. I just like talking about what I see and how I think it works and trying to put it all together. I'm very much a beginner and a student of the thing, you know. I don't know shit, but I like talking about the shit I don't know about and being in awe of it. So there will be discussion pretty much always. That will be solely on the YouTube version. So if you want to mix and match your versions and like go to the picture-in-picture version to watch the thing so that you don't have to go and download it yourself off of Nya or whatever, then cool, do that. Go watch the picture-in-picture version. That's why I provide it. But then if you want some more discussion and whatever I thought about it, come back to the YouTube version where there will be discussion. If you do want to like full screen the show and watch it in all of its whatever rip they have available on Nya, watch it in all of that glory, then go ahead and use the timer-based version. At the beginning of each timer, there will be a beep beep timer, and it will go boop 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 beep and red, yellow, yellow, green. On the green light and the beep is the exact same frame which I line up in editing, where the video actually starts playing on my screen. So if you're playing along on your screen, that's how you get the best experience. So you'll get my annoying commentary along with the wonderful visual whatever the fuck is going on in the show, and you can mess with the volume levels as you please. I usually try to keep them relatively balanced and whatever, but it doesn't always work and whatever, so but you got options. You can use the picture-in-picture version, you can use the timer-based version, and I will say at the beginning, if you're using the timer-based version, get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down to episode 1 of show, in this case Gunbuster, will be coming at you right about now. So let's do that. Let's do that. I have episode 1 of Gunbuster up and ready. If you want to sync up, get ready to, because the beep beep timer is coming at you. Oh, I should also, whenever... I'm a little blathery today. I'm sorry. We're already 20 minutes in and I haven't even started the video. Versions. I should mention what version or what file I grabbed from Nya. Generally, I'm just going to grab the one with the most seeds. If you don't know what Nya is, Google nya.si. It's a torrent site for anime. It's great. You can get lots of anime there. It's most useful for things that would be prohibitively expensive or difficult to come across any other way. So Like Ava before it was on Netflix was really fucking difficult to find in the US, and things like Gunbuster are really fucking difficult to find in the US, and I figure that that's probably going to be a running theme for the shows that we end up watching. So, we're just going to be grabbing things from Nya. I will generally grab the first torrent. If there are comments on it, I'll read them, and if they say this shit sucks, go watch this version, I'll probably do that. But I'll let you know at the beginning which version I grabbed. I grabbed the version from Nya that starts with the prefix EG. So if you search Gunbuster on Nya and sort by seeds, the top one on the list is EG, and that's the one I grabbed. So if you want to sync up with the exact same version, that'll do ya. In any case, keep doing this, keep doing full starts, but beep beep timer for episode 1. Let's go. That's somewhat discordant. Oh, is he alive? For sure, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna move tea away from me because it's a little late and switch to water. Luxion. You might not get that chance, lady. Girl. Child. Ooh, that went black and white. Is this a funeral? Yup. Shit, that happened real fast. Oriental? Oh. Uchu Kaiju. Gotcha. Okay, so this is your One Piece. This is your Find Your Father. I assume that's an application, though it's not translated, for joining the Space Forces or whatever. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh my god, it's so 80s instantly. Actually, I need to know the year for this. 88 to 89. Peak. Just the peak. Oh my god. It's too much. I love it. Alright. Jab, jab. Wow, the classic, like, the trainer driving the scooter in front or behind. That's amazing. Oh, hello. Alright. Little tomboyish. Little Gynax bounce. Gynax bounce is what it's called, right? I believe so. Okay, and they have some action to do in the pilot seat. Alright. And some somewhat rounder, more, I guess you could say they're more feminine mecha designs, but than the blocky Gundams, you know? Shock! You are shock! What is the point of that? They're machines, they don't... Are they biomechanical? That's fucking ridiculous. Sad girl, sad. Big eyes, big! Big eyes, big irises. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Yeah. Those are double jumps too. Jesus. Zen zen dame nano. Oh. Breathing and walking. Is that blue hair way too perfect for you, girl? Hmm. Ah. Ah. Hmm. So that's the Onesama from the title. Ooh, they scared. Yeah, run away, you bitch. Uh-huh. Too perfect. So, reusing cuts for the OP. Understandable. Ah, I see shades of yeah, the bit of the sexy mother figure. A little bit. Hmm. That's way too many things. So, I mean, maybe if you're not chewing gum at the same time, it would work. Be good. Be better. Hmm. It's not all talent. I think the point has just whooshed. All right, so she's a dum dum. That is one thing she seems to be good at, and that's all she wants out of life. Oh, okay. Give you a little rappy thing. Rappy thing that she will treasure forever. Uh huh. Will treasure forever. Gonna sleep with it. Gonna shower with it. Ping pong. Oh, huh. Hi. You seem like a friendly person with your eyes drawn as fucking diamonds. Hmm. Hmm. Wow, the spatial audio. Not really, it's just stereo, but whatever. For the you know what? For the mission? I think that'll happen. I also think your Onesama is gonna die. Sorry. Has he? Hey, it's that guy. He's got some shades of Kaji. You know who I mean. It's been a while since Ava. No auto balancers. Ooh, maybe she's a prodigy without the support gear. Hey. Oh. Fight done, fight done, fight done. Too much. Oh, jeez. Uh-huh. Not quite. Oh, but ballet. Boop. Girl, you suck. Sir, yes, sir. She's gonna do it, though. She'll be there late after the sun is going down, and there we are. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Ooh. Ooh. There's some Ava here in, like, every scene. Baka. Thank you, Gynax. Unnecessary boob bounce. Appreciated. Wait, is that, it's a Ghibli, right? Boom, boom, boom. So is she intended to be a complete red shirt expendable? And they're gonna chalk it up to that again. They need her for something. Same as they need Shinji for something. The Daughter of Defeat. Aw, poor thing. I figure there's a reason for it. I don't think it's by chance, nor do I think it's by nepotism. She's got something. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh. I'm a survivor. Of course. Busta Machine. Wow, we went full manga there. That's cool. With the shading patterns as well. Gunbuster! Buster of guns! Hmm. Hmm. I think they were already pretty against you. So where's that woman, lady, person who is staring daggers at ya? Seems like a good idea. Go find Koichi. Ooh. Ooh. Shit. Mm-hmm. What'd they put on the seat? Thumbtacks? Motherfuck. Oh, motherfuckers. Oh, Koichi is badly injured. I thought it was just the scar. Don't be silly. I love the colorization here. Colorization's not the word, but framing as well. The lines converging on our eyes. Wah, says coach. Gonna be faced with hardship, and you kept running, right? Weights. Oh, fuck. Hard work. Hard work. And fucking leg warmers. The important parts. Natural potential and the set in her mouth, set in her eyes. Gone to purples. It's so nice. That's, is that Norio? I think it's Norio. Yeah. Wakamoto. Glimmer of a gleam. 4 a.m. Going for a run. Oh my god. The most 80s it could possibly ever be. Reverb on a training montage. Ganbatte. She gets it. Interesting that their dresses have petticoats. Eyes closed, baby. Yeah, it's not her own hard work. Alright, this bitch gonna do something weird. Pretty sweet mechanical design, gotta say. Oh, wow, very Ava. Shades of Asuka, almost. No. Yes, I would mind, but no. Dual twitch. Oh, she wants a fight. Oh, the way her hair swooshed. That was cool. Sure. Of course you will. Dude, go with your instincts, man. You gotta go with your instincts. Stop it with the numbers and all that stuff. You need hard work. And balls. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Again, shades of Asuka. Just a little bit. Utter defeat. Thank you, Gynax. Nope, she needs to learn. Thanks, coach. Oh, Jesus. Get angry, girl. Fight with instinct. Oh, just turning him off, going blind. Gleam. Oh, that distortion. That seems to be assault with a deadly weapon. Hey. From above. Like a gymnast. 3 cuts. Okay. I have seen that parodied. Hmm. Well, I'm sure. So aim for the top. Hmm. Mount Fuji is not an active volcano as far as I know, is it? Okay. I might be wrong, but something about that image is a little off. La Luna. Is there an ED? There seems to be. Oh, different style. Sketchy. These look like these are actual sketches that have been photographed. I mean, as opposed to being on cells. Oh man, it's so 80s. I love it. I love it. Oh my god. Hmm. Groovy guitar and Fiend. Ende. All right, that was a blast and a blast from the past, absolutely. So, we're introduced to young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed female protagonist with a dead dad who wants to follow in her father's footsteps and become a hero of humanity, but more than that, to go and find out what exactly happened to her dad. Apparently, he died defending the Earth and all of humanity's wonderfulness from Uchukaiju, space monsters. Dun dun dun. Speaking of dun dun dun, she's a bit of a dum dum dum. Not the best at doing the thing, not the best at using her brain or doing multiple things at once. But we see from very early on that she's got a penchant for hard work, and it's at this point where her characterization diverges strongly from what will come next as a more subtle version of a similar thing, and something that becomes very apparent as I was going through the episode, and as someone who has seen Ava and talked about it in very much the same way, is that there are shades and shadows of what is to come built in throughout the series. We've got, at this point, an unknown, possibly eldritch horror-esque, abomination-y type of threat. We've got the somewhat hardline teacher. We've got a more motherly and more friendly One-sama, and a bunch of other things, bit of internal conflict, some shades of certain scenes and aspects of character that raise their heads once again in Ava, and that's interesting. It's cool to see where some of the seeds of those ideas may have started. Let me see. She has been given a specific object by somebody who she idolizes, which I assume will come into play when said character dies horribly and tragically, and maybe in a way that she could have prevented if she had only worked a little bit harder. And I get the feeling that she's going to treasure that little hair wrappy thingy forever and ever and ever and ever. I love the nickname Daughter of Defeat so much that I wrote it down twice. Yep. Okay. I am a survivor. Yes, he is. And we're introduced to the idea of the Buster Machine, which I assume is going to be the mecha thing that she pilots and that nobody else can pilot for reasons. There's also the ongoing thing of the horoscope and what it says, the little bit of superstition there, and her relationship with a close young friend, her own age, who doesn't really serve much as a character except to be somebody who is a sounding board for her thoughts, hopes, dreams, and fears. Interesting. There's also the lightning kick, which I have definitely seen before. In fact, I believe I saw it quite recently in an episode of Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei, Season 2, or Zoku Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei, which was a whole kaiju tokusatsu mecha thing that happened in the show, in which a character, I believe, did exactly that maneuver. Now, all of these little bits and pieces don't serve to really show the main thing that comes across from this episode, which is that it is so fucking 80s. Oh my god. It's amazing. I mean, the OP in itself, fucking the mid-roll at the midpoint where we get a Gunbuster, which might as well be followed by the refrain Buster of Guns, because it sounds really cool. Pretty much everything in here is because it's cool. Training montage, super fucking 80s music, discussions and hopeful speeches at sunset. Boobs. Boobs are a big part of this show so far. I mean, I think it's worth bringing up. There's a significant focus on hard work, and that being the key to pretty much everything. That talent is something and yada yada, but talent only shows itself when hard work is applied, and even without that innate talent, hard work can make up for a lot of the ground. And we see it from almost the first scene that we actually see our character in. I mean, we have scenes of her here, but this is just a lore drop exposition dump about who her dad is and what her motivation is. When we actually see her, the first thing she's doing is, outside of a mech, she is ta-ta-ta training. And more than that, she's following in the footsteps of her One-sama by doing what she can, doing jumping rope, which is exactly what her One-sama is doing. And we see by just the count that she's going on, doing double jumps, that she's putting in the effort. We see it again when she's told to run 50 laps, not in a giant mech which helps do things, but by herself on her lonesome on her own 2 feet. And that is kind of the thing that's going on here. It's on her own 2 feet. The other thing that stands out is it's a very, very 80s style to everything, to all of the animation, but more than anything else to the character designs. We've got these big, lumpy, taller than they are wide, oversized eyes with variable sized irises that serve to make her very expressive, but not in some of the nuanced ways that we see in other characters. She also has eyelashes. There's also this bit of a shady portion that's being put over what serves as a semblance of a nose, which has been done away with in more recent years to a great extent, and very simple mouth animations that would lend themselves to being easily lip flapified. Also, the use of sparkles and sparkly bits and sparkly things. She has much smaller eyes and big, big, thick eyelashes, as well as thick, full lips. She's meant to be very attractive and beautiful to the point of being on a pedestal. She's the ideal for our young, naive protagonist for now, until she almost certainly gets destroyed by a space monster, because you don't idolize a character like this and have them have a happy fun time leaving our protagonist with nothing to do and nowhere to grow. This character dies. If I'm wrong about that, then I'm wrong and I'm happy to be, but this character is built to die. And that's kind of sad, but also kind of, yeah, that's the way it should go. There's also the very distinctive cell shading that you see in Ginga Eiyu Densetsu and a lot of stuff from this time, with just a couple of layers of different color, but used to accent the bright side of the nose and a little bit of the cheek here, which gives her a little bit more fullness there, and bits of shadow under the hair. Very little that's actually dark, and when it is dark, like under the neck, it's black. It's very clean cut and very much of its time, and I quite like it. I really do. Also, the massive amounts of sparkles in the eyes, because fuck yeah, and that continues across all of the scenes. I particularly like the use of the shadow to create the outline of her face proper versus what's behind hair or back under the neck. And we've got the sort of long neck aesthetic going on here as well. Little bit of frowny face, but she's cute even when she frowns. Yeah. Her big old googly eyes give her sort of a ditzy, goofy, cartoony sort of feel to her, which I have a feeling is going to change over the course of this series. Maybe not intensely, but I could see her gaining a little bit more of a hardness around her eyes, a little bit more of an angularity in her features as she discovers the horrors of space and what surely lurks out there. I will say that the aesthetic of the inside of the mechs, actually, a lot of the things about the mechs are pretty cool. I wouldn't call them exactly unique or anything, but there's care and attention and detail placed into it. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice. Hmm. There's also when she's moving in the mech and actually taking actions, there's a tendency for the shots to follow her hands as she moves. We see it. I think the easiest point of contact that I can find for it would be in the OP. There's a scene that's then repeated, I think, a little bit later in the episode. I'm not sure where it is. There's a scene where she shoves her hand forward on one of the thingamajiggies, and the camera follows it. Yeah, I actually don't know where it is, so we're not going to spend too much time going through it, because I do want to watch the next episode, see where we're going from here. I have to check something just because I think I'm stupid. Actually, no, I know I'm stupid, but I want to determine how stupid I am. Neon Gen. I'm just gonna pull up the mal page for Ava so that I don't forget character names. Yeah. So that's the thing. Having recently watched the first season of Symphogear, I almost called Misato Ryoko. Fuck, that's wrong. That's real wrong. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, there are shades of characters sort of glomped together in this show. Like this whole scene where we see her with her mess of snacks and cans of Coke and Pepsi and other kohi and stuff like that. This is a very I think that some of these are identical to certain shots of Misato waking up and surrounded with beer cans and bits of other things. And there are a few things like that that make me go, "Hey, I think I've seen this shot before used for a similar purpose." Same goes for the gleaming glasses of the character who in this case is knows more than they're letting on and is pulling our protagonist into something very dangerous that they aren't exactly telling her is as dangerous as they know. It's interesting. It's interesting. The reveal from Norio Wakamoto's character that he has a chopped up eye, and that's likely why he wears the big ol' aviator shades is also interesting. And he also has these very slim eyes that are typical of male protagonists or male like macho men from the time. But he looks like a dude who's seen some shit, and that comes across. Sorry for bumping the mic. That comes across rather strongly. Um, there are also scenes where things are brightly, like blown out brightly backlit by windows, things that we see in Ava a couple of times, I think. And oh, where did we see that? Yeah. The poster in the back of her room. Because there's a poster in this scene. There. Uh uh, uh Ghibli movies. Images. No, no. Nah, sort of Little Witch Academia-ish, but obviously not the right time period for that. Anime character Green Witch hat. Nope, nada. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. One thing that I feel like I should probably do for this show, just because it would be interesting and maybe a good idea, is with certain shows that have lots of references in them. Like Lucky Star and Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei. It's been a really good idea to go and see if I can find like a trivia page or a Reddit rewatch thread that compiles some of the trivia and things that I might not have noticed. So I'm gonna take a moment and try to do that. So Gunbuster episode 1 trivia. We'll start there. I don't immediately see like a thing. So we'll do Gunbuster episode 1 rewatch Reddit. And there should almost definitely be a thread there. And there is. Okay. And um hmm, hmm. Easy to spot Anno's talent for shot composition? Absolutely. I mean, even in the scene that we're looking at right here, we've got our character placed right in the convergence of these two walls, and lots of good stuff going on. And obviously, there's a bit of a focus down in this area, but you know. There's also something interesting over here. I wonder if these are like specific comedian duo. I would assume so. I really like this shot. It's kind of cool. Pretty neat. Characters looking sidelong from the side. Lots of interesting framing. And then in the scene where we actually get our grill here, yeah, there's this particular line in the windows is very carefully placed. It points our field of view directly toward our character's eyes and really right toward the center of her face, which is where, this is the canvas of emotional content for the scene, along with the wonderful color palette that's been chosen that tints everything in this sort of golden hour type of orangey yellow on everything. And then that, as we move along, that morphs from there into more wonderful purples with these orange accents. It almost looks like let me just Google sunset Top Gun. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mhm. Sorry. But Top Gun came out in 86, so had 3 years for this to come out afterward. And yeah, I mean, Tony Scott was known for shooting in interesting times of day throughout the movie for particular feel of outside lighting, outdoor lighting. Neat, neat, neat. And then of course there is a lot of Gynax bounce all throughout. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, dying close to Christmas, goals and motivations being set, missed opportunity for Yuri bait. Oh, don't even joke. There's plenty of Yuri bait here. Uh, there isn't exactly like a compiled trivia and interesting thing going on here, which is unfortunate. Uh, kind of what I was hoping for. More just like people making Reddit thread comments, which honestly is not probably worth going through at the moment. There might be some hidden gems in there, but I think we should stay away from that, as it would color our opinions of the show going forward, most likely. I will say that some of the stuff like the reflection in the aviators, maybe seeing some of himself in her, or maybe seeing some of her dad in her, interesting. Although I would expect more of a myself in you from this guy. Uh and it would feed in really interestingly to his like pulling her into something very dangerous and knowing how dangerous it is because he has been injured by it and is probably considered by many to be one of the lucky ones who got out. Shit's about to go down. It's not gonna be good. All right, and then we get the most 80s fucking thing, period, with the reverberating synths and everything. It is so rocky. It is so any 80s action movie gotta have the training montage. Ooh, baby, we just don't get craftsmanship like that anymore. And thank God. No. I love it. All right, there's that shot. Her fingers going all wild on the thing. It's a cool shot with some cool foreshortening in it. Now, the whole idea of having your robot do calisthenics is kind of ridiculous because robots don't have muscles or grow. But hey, maybe hints of the idea of biomechanical robo beasts coming in. Of course, we have to have some antagonism and conflict in the episode besides our character herself. And then we get scenes like this, the big confrontation. These are also shades of Ava here, with the stark blown out lighting in the frame of the doorway, the big elongated shadows, and the almost monocolor or monochromatic color palette being used here to great effect to accent the scene and, very literally paint this very black and white character in shades of black and white. It's pretty straightforward, but still not unclever. Not the worst. Pretty cool. And then we get a little hint of brutality here as this girl maniacally beats the shit out of this robot with seemingly very little impact on the pilot, which is fine and makes sense. We wouldn't want our main character to be dying right now. I have to say, this scene is fantastic. It's definitely got some shades of maniacal Asuka, and even the moments of maniacal Shinji built into this, and using the sort of fisheye lens effect here to expand her eye as she looks in is very nice and creepy. Kind of wonderful. And of course, we gotta have a nice panning shot from way too much exposed leg for a uniform to heaving bosom, because of course we do. I mean, duh. I'm 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 a person who doesn't like I don't have a problem with fan service, and I don't have a problem with male gaziness. It's fine. It's also a product of its time, and that's fine. Um I also enjoy it on like the base level that it's intended to be enjoyed. That's fine. I'm not going to beat myself up or the show up about the fact that it is objectifying a woman's body, because of course it is. It's an 80s OVA. And neither at the same time am I necessarily trying to excuse that. It's just, it's a part of the show, and I'm okay with that if you're not. Peace. Be well. I'm sure that you could write a dissertation on how horrible it is that she is made to wear bloomers with multiple sexy straps on the sides for no discernible reason, just cuz. But hey, at least she wears a t-shirt over it, I guess, over the leotard thing. So then there is this scene where the character distorts to almost insane, well, genuinely insane, but the actual line work becomes squiggly and fuzzy and gives this crazed feel to the entire thing, and that is maintained as she pulls back out here and warps and shifts as she emotes. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat stuff going on here. And flings her hair around. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Love it. Then we get the, I think, identical, uh, yeah, same scene, same shot. And then we get a reaction. And then we get the same shot 3 times. I have to imagine that they modeled an Olympic gymnast for this, because there's easily available footage of it. And that is a gymnast move. It could have been a diver as well. Either one would work. And then a big ol' lightning colorized impact frame. Boom. You've done well, my child. Now come to Death Hell for me, and we'll fight the Death Hell monsters together. Actually, I'll be staying behind because I'm crippled. Also, I'm just curious about this in general. Mount Fuji active. Last eruption of Mount Fuji is 1707. Has erupted for more than 100,000 years and is still an active volcano today. Smoke Mount Fuji. Yeah, I guess it does happen occasionally. Okay. Okay. Interesting. However, it is traditionally seen as, like, not very active, and the significant activity of it here kind of implies that something weird under the surface might be going on, which is maybe interesting, or maybe they just thought it would be cool to have smoke billowing out of Fujisan. I don't know. Fucking, I don't know, it's the 80s, and you can do whatever you want. In any case, this was a pretty cool introductory episode to a pretty interesting series. Now, as an anime watcher who grew up watching a whole bunch of things, I don't know how much of what's here that I recognize is because I've watched things afterward that drew from it for inspiration, or watched things before it that it drew from for inspiration. I don't know. I'm not well versed enough in the land and landscape of 80s OVAs and their ilk to really know. I just know that so much of what's here is either was a trope by the time this came out or became a trope shortly after its release. There is a lot of tropitude, tropification, troponation. I don't know. There are a lot of tropes here. A lot of tropes, a lot of cliches, a lot of those things, and I love it. Yeah, I kind of love it. I don't have a problem with it. Now, if something like this were coming out in 2019, I would have a problem with it. I'd be saying, "Oh, how lazy." You just well, actually, if something like this came out in 2019, I would go, "Oh, how interesting. They're lampooning all of these tropes." Interesting how time period and that aforementioned landscape of known quantities comes into play when looking at a show. It's an interesting thing to think about. All in all, I think this was enjoyable as fuck. I laughed, I cheered, somewhat tongue in cheek all the way through, but I don't see how else you could watch it when it's something so ingrained in stuff and things. Yeah, that was a very insightful sentence you just said there, Teeaboo. Nice job. All right. So we are going to watch the next episode. Before we do, I usually do like a syncy thing just to make sure I've got all my tracks synced up. For the purposes of the timer-based version and for the picture-in-picture version, make sure the audio is relatively synced and everything works okay. So I will take a quick break. There will be a cut here, and then we'll go ahead and jump on into Gunbuster episode 2, Go into Space. Cool. So I'll see you in a moment. Peace. All right, welcome back. We are good to go, all synced up and ready for Gunbuster, Buster of Guns, episode 2. Beep beep timer. To space. Oh, we're in 2015, the far future. Oh, this is then. Oh, okay. This is when. Yeah, okay. That's some cool SFX animation. So are we gonna get some papa, and also, and he's gonna sacrifice himself for him, isn't he? It's the two of them. Yep. He's gonna chuck him in there. Nope. Going down with the shit. That explains so much. Good night, sweet Admiral. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Wow, just eliminating all of them. I guess. And straight from that into... As far as I can tell, almost the entire OP is built up of cuts from the first episode, which is fine. Wonder how frequent and how prevalent that was in the time. Probably pretty prevalent. Still need to meet Redhead Girl. Daring, the girl genius challenger. Okay. Cool. Wow, the headphones, though. Airplane headphones. Gotta love them. Ooh. That's a Star Destroyer. I know that. Nope, that's Star Destroyer. It's triangle shaped. That's called perspective, lady. Yeah, as we get closer. Oh, wait, maybe it's not that small. Big ship. Hey, wait, I know that station. That's Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I know that station. It's not quite, but you know what I mean. It's close enough. Got the rings. Oh, there she is. Interesting. She doesn't have a line work at the bottom of her hair. Kind of it becomes fuzz. Oh, hello, friendly Admiral Man. Does she have two fathers, Carl and Sigmund? Young Freud, eh? Also, shades of fucking Asuka, two German Also, not Shaden. I forget what that's actually called. Yikes. So, the challenger, I assume. A rushed pace, maybe. Bitch. I said, bitch. Makes sense. Who are the pairs? Space ninjas. Okay, they're a pair. Of course. Of course. Now, is Redhead Girl gonna try and fuck some shit up? Yup. Hi, I'm a saboteur. Well. Well. Okay. Nope. I would as soon call that jab poke. I'm gonna fucking kill you. It's like an elliptical. The Rose Queen. Indeed. Not the Rose Bride. Deep Space Workout Sessions, Volume 1. Brilliant. Ooh, the coloration on that is really nice. Sure. Okay. You could try. From above. No chance. Ooh, baby. Nope. Makes sense. Yo. Yo, that's a lot of tech that you just blew up. Some, spooky secrets. They're doing, experiments on space monster corpses? Looks like it. Trying to harness the power of the enemy, maybe? That is definitely an eldritch abomination if I've ever seen one. Space monster. That's not your daddy. Yes. Oh, got spider bits. Squiddy bits. All sorts of bits. Hmm. Shades of Asuka's memories. Hmm. Ha 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 ha. I'm dead now. Ha ha ha. Uh-oh, y'all about to get caught. Or evaporated. Looks like caught. Buster of guns. Every time. Is he wearing fucking Converse? He would be. Mm. Leg warmers. Back to reflections in the glasses. Shower time? Probably. Yup. Gonna get my saluting hand warmed up. Knew I would need it. Oh! Okay then. Well, that definitely can't go up on YouTube. Boing, boing. Thanks, Gynax. Uh-huh. So that's why you decided to fight and attack us? I guess we're friends now, though. Oh, her eyes got wider as well. Yeah, straight through the whole sequence. Thanks, 80s OVA market. Makes my breasts lighter. Oh, oh no. Oh. Also the cross. Interesting. German. Pato. I think that's his limp. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Oof. Oh. I like her. Yup. Yup. Okay. Well, that was pure fan service. I hear English. Mission 1A. Hmm. That's fast. But almost like it's powered. I. Oh. I wonder who we'll choose for this mission. Again, building up Gunbuster. So they're gonna literally ride a rocket. Because, duh. Obviously the most efficient way to make this happen. Yeah, just endure the near light speed G-forces. Yeah. Don't let the ether flow, okay. Oh, we've upgraded from just leg warmers to also wrist wraps. Nice. Ooh, yeah, don't do that. Don't try not to get spaghetti-fied. Okay, interesting choice of names. This is gonna be rough. We'll see. What about the relativity thing part? Is that in play? Objects traveling at near light speed experience time a little different. Eh. Splat on the inside of your machine. Holy shit. Ride that Moby Dick. Oh, wait. I knew what it was going to be when I said it. But man. Okay, sub lightspeed craft going out. Ding. Fuck. Wait, how are you communicating with them? Do you have a laser? Bum bum. Straight to manga. Shit. Yeah, don't let her near it. Shit. Oh, jeez. How much time would have passed on the Luxian if it's been traveling at near light speed? That much time. I think he's probably still dead. Oh, he caught up real fast. Why didn't they just take that ship? Eh. Oh, he's going out. 3 minutes. Gonna just grab a timestamp here to see how that syncs. 1920-ish? Of course, that's where he would be. Ooh. What if he's been, like, infested and she has to kill him? Ugh. Girl, I know you are hopeful. Is that vacuum out there? Oh, fuck. Big rip. F's in chat. There is no chat. It's only been a minute of actual time. Will she stay for 5 seconds longer? Hey. Hey, over here. Hey, come get us, please. And we did it. And we done diddly did it. Yeah. Yee. They're already here, girl. Let us decelerate. We don't know how much time has passed in the real world out there, eh? Gotcha. She did stay. Soka. Oh, Norio. So is the it's finished. Yeah. Hey, that's a nice way to time skip a little bit. Neat. Oh. Okay. Fucking yeah. Cheer up, you'll get to see him soon. Oops. That is a high slit on that skirt. But of course it is. Yeah. Man, relativity's a bitch. Oh, telephone lines. Character with distant father or dead father who tries and fails to reconnect. Sad. Sad straight into groovy. Love it. Oh, there's a thing at the end. Oh, we'll watch it. I'm fine with watching it. I don't mind. The Sea of Stars. My conquest is a dare. Oh. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. Maybe we shouldn't be watching this. This is a little... Hmm. Inazuma Geek! Alright, great. Great though. Great though. Well, okay. There's one aspect of this episode that I definitely need to shy away from for the on YouTube discussion portion because titty. Um yeah, that was definitely a thing. That definitely happened and it was absolutely the purest of pure fan service. Why did they have that conversation while bathing? Because of course they did. It's the 80s. Okay, so we get a little bit more background on our Kochi and his history with the admiral, the man who actually saved his life and actually sacrificed himself, and his relationship with his own daughter for this young man with the explanation that you are too young to die and I am too old to live. That's pretty classic. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Pretty classic, pretty solid, pretty interesting. Shows us a bit about why he might have chosen her, though we don't exactly have a clear reason. He probably has a more pragmatic reason for choosing her as a candidate, but still, I will say that some of this sequence and just the scope and scale is kind of Ginga Eiyu Densetsu-esque with all the explosions and cool things and the harsh red lighting and almost monochromatic color palette inside. Real cool, real good looking, real awesome looking, very beautiful. This whole sequence as he listens to his little daughter say stuff to him over and over as he presumably explodes in his ship, but not quite, not actually. That's definitely a thing that happened, and it's kind of sad. It's also kind of cool. I don't understand how his ship was still moving and going places, but okay, maybe the explosion we saw was something different than we thought it was, and it just jettisoned him at 99.8% the speed of light. But it has been 2 days aboard. Wow, that's kind of cool, kind of crazy. This shot of the gargantuan spaceship and our protagonist's naivete by saying like, "Oh, it's not that big. It's only this big. Look at it. It's so small. It's tiny." Perspective, fam. It's important. Speaking of perspective, actually, I don't have a follow-up for that, so yikes. All right, and then who we meet this character, who is, hmm, hmm, hmm. I mean, we all know that Ano has a thing with Freudian and Jungian psychology built into his characters, but naming your presumably Germanic, red-headed female character who comes out guns blazing wanting a fight with the protagonists and then warms up to them much more quickly than Asuka does. But naming that character Young Freud is a little on the fucking nose, don't you think? Just a little bit. Yeah. Um I will say I appreciate her character design, and there are some interesting things about it. I mentioned it during the reaction, but the first thing that I noticed was that she doesn't actually have. There is a lightish pink colored line, which I assume is where they actually drew the outline of her hair. But her hair doesn't come to a drawn end, which is kind of interesting. It gives the impression that it sort of frizzes at the tips just a little bit, which makes sense because she's got this whole wavy thing going on throughout. Um, Green hard eyes. It's actually kind of cool that we get to see them all in a row here. And I've been thinking a lot recently about what eyes do for a character design, but we've got the very literally wide-eyed, bright-eyed protagonist who has these small irises surrounded entirely by sclera, and the irises move around and grow and change to give her a lot of emotability and also relatability and a bit of a cuteness factor to her. Whereas our more mature One-sama here has much slimmer eyes. She's seen a little bit of stuff, but they're also mostly made up of curves and very soft curves and lines to them with these thick, I guess you could call them luscious eyebrows if you wanted to. And also a matching blue with her hair, which is nice. Also the lipstick, which is a thing. They've also got very different nose designs. These two almost share nothing of their nose designs with one another. She's got a bit more of a pointed, traditionally beautiful nasal feature. I don't fucking know. Just bail on that one real quick. And then we've got this character who, very much like the girl that we met earlier, has almost diamond shape eyes that come to relatively distinct points at the corners. Bit of thicker eyebrows. She's seen some stuff. She's seen some space combat, but she's also a bit of an antagonistic figure at this moment, which makes a lot of sense. And then I love these scenes where we do, what is that called? Comic book dot shading. Bende dots? I guess. Maybe. Or just halftone shading. Yeah, halftone shading. Because these aren't exactly Bende dots because they don't range in size too much. They look like they're all relatively consistent in size. Whereas Bende dots would be a little bit different. But okay, halftone shading. Cool. Good to grab that piece of lingo for my toolkit. Um, Covering around the eyes, very cool, very cool. And then it accelerates and gets a little bit more intense a bit later when she actually challenges them to a fight. We get certain scenes where it's here, there, and the area around the eyes just becomes this scribble of parallel lines and pure darkness that almost is like playing with the aspect ratio, which we see in things like Monogatari and elsewhere, but narrowed focus, super close up on the eyes, very intense, very cool. And then we give each of their ships a sort of a different interior color palette, with blue girl being blue, and golden girl being golden, and red girl being kind of reddish pinkish, which I can't find an exact frame of at the moment, but it's there. You know it exists. Some interesting levels of like kind of choreography going on. Yeah, there we go. Red girl being red, reddish pink. All of them with a semi monochromatic color palette that sort of matches their hair color and type of character. It's cool. It's very cool. gives us a very easy way of tracking these characters when a lot of their features might be a bit obscured otherwise. It's pretty great. Really like it. And then they end up fighting their way through into an interesting location. And I gotta say, this as a way of revealing to us what space monsters look like, and it being essentially like a smorgasbord of everything that creeps and crawls, is pretty fucking awesome. I like this a lot. It's got a lot of insectoid parts to it. It's got what look to be like exposed intestines and its guts on the outside, because hey, why would a space creature need the thing that holds it together in the vacuum of space? I don't know. Doesn't need it. But it's got chitinous parts and parts that are more very crab-like or spider-like, very arachnid. I want to say crab-like. They look like fucking king crab legs, and I bet they're goddamn delicious. And then what's this thing on its back? It's like a almost like a horseshoe crab's exoskeleton there. And it's also got these sort of grasping appendages and this gooey internal mess. And it's got a straight up spider face in it as well, which we see a little bit later, I think. My dad was, yeah, it's got, that's just a spider face with a spider leg claw thing. Pretty wonderfully disgusting and gross. Then we get this very shaky art style to it almost looks like it's charcoal sketches to give us the memory, the distant memory of a distant father, very literally. And then the laser grid comes on, and I was actually thinking that maybe this would be zappy lasers and not just beep beep lasers, but nope, they're beep beep lasers. Get our classic mid-run Gunbuster thing, and he is totally wearing classic Converse because of course he is. Fucking got style, you know? Gotta have style. Oh, I have to skip this whole sequence because I almost went to a place that I'm not supposed to go to on YouTube. Okay. And I think at the very end of it, we get the dudes rolling by. Oh, shit. Well, I have to mark a timestamp real quick. 01:52. Titty removal squad. Sorry, me. You're gonna hate me. Sorry, future me. You're gonna hate present me when you get to editing. So yeah, we get the boys rolling by, and they all freak out as they are wont to do, because anime. I'm not gonna talk too much about the fan service scene. As I said before, I'm okay with it. It's titillating. Yay! The conversation about gravity on breasts in space is kind of funny and a little bit of an interesting, I don't know what you would call it, lamp shading? Not really, but they know what they're doing. Okay, and then we strap them to 2 gigantic rockets because that seems like a great idea, especially when they seem to have a ship that is fully capable of light speed and entirely capable of carrying both of these super suits in it. Plot holes aren't a big deal right now. I don't think I want to harp on that too much. It's just fucking cool. And why did we strap our girls to rockets and have them shoot off into space? Also name them Moby Dick. Why not? So fucking 80s. Why didn't they splat on the inside of their super suits when they engaged the thrusters and jumped presumably to, I don't know, some fraction of light speed in a matter of seconds? We don't want our characters to die right now, but we want them to do this really cool thing, so... Yeah, it's pretty great. Alright, and then off he goes to follow up. And from here, the episode becomes a relatively straightforward time crunch dungeon crawl sort of situation. She wants to go in and find her father. It's irrational, but of course it is. She's not being rational at the moment. Cool contrast of color palettes from inside to outside with the pinks and purples, and then the blues and grays. It's nice. And main bridge, she opens it. We see, before she even pulls it all the way open, we see this this flow of content of air and objects, and can presume that there is open space out there, but didn't expect fucking flying into space out there. That is some messed up shit. And then, as could be predictable-ish, she waits a few extra seconds because she cares. And of course she does. On both fronts, of course she cares, and of course she waits a few seconds. But by his own ruling, she should have let them go. So it's a moment of, ah, I see. By the way, how late were we? He knows he was late. He knows they should be dead now. He knows they should have been on this ship for them, however long, and for everyone else, the entirety of history. It's one of those moments where we know, as the audience who is privy to such information and can predict such things, that this girl who he just saved is probably going to be the savior of mankind to some degree. So the fact that they didn't just get sucked up into a going lots and lots of percents of light speed real fast, hurtling out through deep space forever and ever and ever, that's a good thing. But it also builds a lot of tension and is a lot of fun. So, it's a bit of a nice roller coaster ride. And we get back and she's in a big old uniform thing, which, by the way, has a really high slit on its skirt. That is like, woo, that is high. And I mean, of course it is, because duh. Interesting uniforms. And yeah, we were just there barely an hour ago. It's interesting to bring around the idea of relativity of time. And I wonder how it will affect this series in the future. I have a feeling it might actually come into play again in an interesting way, but I don't know how. Just because we brought it up so early on, it seems like it might be a factor in some kind of decision-making process in the future. I just happen to feel like that's going to be a thing. I don't know. And here we go. We've got power lines. This is a Hideaki Anno show, after all, and it's the 80s. Power lines and staring up into space and the wonders of being with Dad, but he's gone now. Sorry. Yikes. But we're going to embark soon on the big-ass ship named the Excellion, which is a cool name for a ship, I guess. And off we go. And because I watched the preview, which I probably shouldn't do in the future and will not do in the future, I know that there's going to be a first space battle and also a first love and also a big-ass warhead and some stuff. And also a game of what seems like truth or dare, which will probably involve showing some titty because, duh. All right. Well, 2 episodes of not Diebuster, not yet, of Gunbuster down for the count. This was solidly enjoyable and a lot of fun, and I think a good way to kick off this new block / slot / show that I'm going to be doing weekly in the future. So if you liked it, do a thing and make a commenty thing, and if you have an idea for the name of this slot, let me know. I need one, and I don't want to go with Retro OVA Monday, which is fine and gets the point across, but I'd like something more clever, and I'm really coming up against a brick wall for something a bit more clever about it. Mockbuster. No, that doesn't work. I don't know what the fuck to... I keep coming up with bad ideas, and they're bad. Usually I'm okay with bad ideas, but they've got to be, like, at least have a semblance of cleverness to them. Otherwise, it just feels cringy. And I'm fine with cringy, but it's got to be cringy with a touch that'll maybe make one person out there go, heh, heh. That's all I want. That's all I need from a stupid name. So if you can come up with something, hit me with it. If you've got your own ideas or thoughts about Gunbuster or information to share about the production of this show, things that it started out on, or things that you think about it in relation to Anno, in relation to any of the other people working on the show, in relation to people's careers or the general state of anime, yeah, throw it in the comments. I love reading that kind of stuff. Write me a fucking essay if you want to. I'll probably still read it. And yeah, just hope you enjoyed this. I did. It was fun. And I'll see you next week for more of the same. Peace.